Hey everyone, I'd like to welcome you to Quantum Messages. My name is Ani Sophine, and the lesson today is on quantum layers of the subtle energy body. I have been tripping and kind of like obsessing off of this for the past week. And so I created these slides and I figured that I would do a lesson on what I've learned. And my question is how can we explain what the subtle layers of the energy body are in a quantum way with quantum physics. And so I did a lot of research, and all of my research and references and resources that I use for this lesson will be in the description below. So you can just click on those and do your own research. But I came across some like really interesting stuff, and it's just I'm still like trying to wrap my head around it because I'm using, analytical thinking skills right now instead of just like feeling into it. However, I do believe that we can now start bridging metaphysics with science. And through quantum physics, there are specific laws and rules. And I believe that it can help us describe the subtle layers of our body. And so I've had questions before about what are the subtle energy layers of the body, because with certain traditions, there's five, and with other traditions, there's seven. With other traditions, there's more. The seven corresponds with the chakras. And so I just really wanted to like dive deep into this so that I could better understand. And so now I'm going to help you try and better understand. So, the subtle energy body, quantum messages, because this is what everything is like quantum messages for me. And I believe that everything we're receiving from the unseen realms, including channeling, visions, connecting to our other present selves, um, connecting to other beings, are all through quantum messages. It is all through the quantum realm. And so this is what I came up with. Quantum messages and information are carried by subtle energy fields, and their interaction with living systems are encoded and processed at the quantum level. So everything that we're receiving is at the quantum level, because technically we are only 99.9999% space. So where's all the other stuff, and how are we receiving these messages? I mean, this is definitely illusion that we are solid. So I really want to dive deep into the more of the subtle energy layers of the body. So my question is the subtle energy body around the human quantum fields of energy based on density? So if we're living on a third density planet, are the fields around our body, the quantum fields, are they based upon the density in which we're living? I don't know. It's kind of interesting question. So some proponents of subtle energy fields suggest that these energies operate at the level of the vacuum state, a region of space where quantum fluctuations and virtual particles constantly arise and disappear, almost like they're popping in or popping out. And the way that I think of it is pulsing in or pulsing out, even though that might not be technically correct, but I still kind of feel that it is potentially that way. So what I came across is the layers of the human body. This is what I came up with. Whether this is what other spiritual groups have come up with in past, ancient and or present, it might be a little bit different, but I do believe that this is like kind of like the fundamental base. So within the quantum realm and its associated phenomena, like quantum mechanics, describe the behavior of matter and light at scales smaller than atoms, including subatomic particles like electrons, protons, and quarks. So if that's the case, and we are 99.9% space or nothing, then the first would be subatomic particles. That's what we are. Then two is the physical body, which is the body, flesh and bones, our DNA and genetics. Number three would be our emotions. And the reason why I put emotions before mental is because I believe that we have emotions first, especially like think about when you're a baby. You get the emotion of like scared or tired or whatever. And so that pops up first. The mental aspects of the human don't pop up until later. So emotion would be the imprints and feelings that one gets. For the mental process, mental would be our thoughts. So our analytical thoughts, our thinking process. Number 5 would be spirit, which is the life force. And I said maybe plasma. And the reason why I said maybe plasma is I'm going to go deeper into this on another lesson, which is what happens to us when we die. So that has been another fascination for me as well. Number 6 is our soul. So it's our etheric astral essence or universal essence. And number 7 is the universal consciousness, that everything is one. We are all one. So that is the law of one. So what I came up with, so these are auric layers, okay? But this is something that I came up with. Layers of the quantum vibrational fields of the body. So we got to think about that. Layers of the quantum vibrational fields of the body. So I believe that the layers, the subtle layers of our body are some type of frequency / vibrational fields. And they, in our mind, the way that we can think of it and imagine it is based upon, like we have to like label it. We were labeling these things, but they're fine layers of energy. So my question is are they vibration that transmit into auras? So could they be vibration or a frequency? Maybe it's the frequency, and from the frequency, it creates a vibration that transmits into auras. So these are just kind of fundamental, the ones that I've listed. But the first set of the auric layers are 1, the first layer of the aura is the etheric body. The second layer of the aura is the emotional body. The third layer of the aura is the mental body. The fourth layer of the aura is the astral body. The fifth layer of the aura is the karmic body. The sixth layer of the aura is the angelic or Buddhic body. And the seventh layer of the aura is the etheric body. So when I look at this, I think of it, and it doesn't really give me a very definitive explanation of each one of these auras. And so what I could do is I could go into depth and I can research each one of these auras, and then I can describe what each one of these auras are based upon my research that I've done upon them. And, I can have intuitive hits about this, not fits, but hits. And I can also, come up with an explanation for what each one of these are. But I believe that we need to shift away from this and go into more of a quantum explanation. So that's what I've been really digging deep into. So it's really interesting in Egypt. So in ancient Egypt, there's 5 layers of the soul. And so when I look at the 5 layers of the soul from ancient Egypt and their ancient teachings, it makes me understand on a better level how to explain this in quantum physics, or explain this in the quantum realm. So absolutely, the ancient Egyptians either got handed down past knowledge, most likely, of the layers of the soul. And so they took this information and they created it into their own culture. So they were definitely most likely taught this somehow from someone or something, and also their deep connection into the unseen realms. And I really connect with it, to be honest. So the Ka is the person's life force or double, and it's Takat, which is separated from the body at death. It needed sustenance even in the afterlife and was often provided for through offerings in the tomb. So to me, definitely the Ka is the life force. So that is the Ka is the essence that keeps you in your body, your physical form. The Ba is represented as your personality in this lifetime, and it's your spirit. And it's often depicted as a human-headed bird that could travel between the world of the living and the dead. So the way that I look at the Ba is the one that comes out of the body during astral projection, or when you are traveling during your dreams, or when you are in deep meditation and you are visiting your other present selves, or you are visiting or you're communicating with another trans-dimensional being that isn't in this realm. You're communicating with that being with your Ba. And the thing the essence that is holding you to this physical body is your ka, which is the life force itself. And so I find that really interesting. The ib is in the heart and was considered the seat of emotions, thoughts, and consciousness. So, there's this deep head heart or connection. So when our heart is centered and it's in coherence with our thoughts, with our mind, with our brain, then we create this toroidal field around our body, and we're in coherence, and we're able to communicate and walk within this world with grace, and we're able to connect with these higher dimensional and potentially lower dimensional realms. And so it's also really important too. And so after death, the heart was believed to be weighed against the feather of Mot to determine a person's fate in the afterlife. So I go more into depth on this with what happens when you die. And I'll go into that in another video. But for this one in particular, I'm really focusing on the subtle layers of the physical body, of our human body. The shoot was shoot, that's funny, was a person's shadow, considered an essential part of their being. So I did a deep breath work last week, and what came through for me was that I was trying to work through some things from when I was a kid, like pre-programmed behavior, and it's turned into a shadow in my life. And for most of us, we have these pre-programmed behaviors and shadows that kind of like haunt us for our life unless we work with them. And the one thing that I came to recognize is that we need to become friends with our shadow. And so this is a major part of the soul. The shadow is a part of you. You cannot ban the shadow, which I thought I could cut the cords with the shadow and the shadow would go. But that means I was cutting the cords of myself, of my soul. And you can't do that. So I came forth to me really strongly in my my breath work that I did. So the next one is the Ren, and that's the person's name. And Egyptians believe that as long as the name existed, the person's essence would continue to exist. So I believe also that the Ren was the person's secret name. So I could be off on this one. I believe that the Ren was the person's secret name. So we have to think, I don't know, I have to go back and research, but let's just, for this one, let's say it's the person's name. So all of these 5 parts are part of the soul. So when you understand these 5 parts, then we can start understanding the subtle layers of the energy body much better. So my question is how do we describe these fields? They are the essence of our experience, and they bind us to the universal reality. So I've come up with these 7 parts: consciousness, quantum particles, matter, thought, emotions, life force, soul. These 7 parts can go in either direction, but there's a universal law to all. So then I started trying to break it down, because I started feeling like the order is questionable. It's like coming up with the question that, this fundamental question: what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Or does now, because we're starting to believe that the first thing was that there's this universal field, and that the great spirit, the great being, the first thing that came forth was thought. So if that's the case, then did the thought of the chicken come first? So I started messing around with the order of these things, and I tried to think like in our terms, like in our perception, how would this work? So does consciousness come before quantum particles, or do quantum particles come before consciousness? Or did the consciousness create the quantum particles? So I came up with different, I don't know, an order of these things. And so I came up with consciousness, quantum particles, matter, thought, emotions, life force, soul, or quantum particles, consciousness, thought, soul, life force, matter, emotion. I think that they can be interchangeable. And I believe that we look at them as individual parts. Like that's what humans do. They try to quantify things and separate things into parts. But to be honest with you, when I look at this, it's all part of the same. It's all together. It is all important. It's all whole. It's all one. And so I was tripping off this for a while, and I was like trying to think of the order of things, but I don't think there is an order. I think it just is. What do you think? So this is from quantum physics, but this is a fact. Quantum vibrational fields are what everything is at the deepest level. So just fields, oceans. And this is a picture of the first photon ever taken. To me, when I see this picture, I love this picture. It looks like it's alive. It also looks like it's an eye, and it looks like it's looking at you. It also looks like it's the shape of an egg, and it's emitting light. So to me, that tells me that it's alive. So here's a fundamental question. What produces quantum energy? Photon emission produces quantum energy, which creates quantum energy. The photon is a transverse wave. When it is created from an electron in an atom, it is a short-lived vibration. Thus, it becomes a discrete packet quantum of transverse wave energy. What's interesting now is that a new perspective on brain function is that infinite waveless energy is an infinite frequency or energy that is not related to time or space. So when I start thinking of things like this, then it starts helping me understand the subtle energy layers better. Electrons are quantum, meaning they act both like waves and like particles. But it is not a simple sometimes one or sometimes the other. Really, there's something in between, a probability wave that quantized, showing us the likelihood of finding them in different places. So until we put our perception, until we put our attention, until we put our focus on something, then it is likely there, and you could possibly find them in different places, which is fascinating. And so if you think about it, we are made of electrons. I mean, we were made of atoms. We were made of quantum particles, and there are electrons within those atoms and quantum particles. So we are both a wave and a particle at the same time. This is something interesting that I came up with, and found. It will be in the description below. Neurons in the brain emit extremely faint light particles known as biophotons, which range in wavelength from near ultraviolet to near infrared. These biophotons may serve as an additional communication channel in neural information processing, complementing traditional electrochemical signals. So, in our brain alone, we are releasing these biophotons, light. And it's very slight, but this is creating some form of interaction and communication with the quantum realm. And I'm trying to wrap my head around this about actually really what's happening. But our brains or our bodies are transmitters and receivers. And because we have been trained to focus on this particular reality, we have trained ourselves to believe that this reality is everything that is, which it's not. And so we've cut ourselves off to the other realities because we've been pre-programmed from children to believe that this is the only reality. And so now science is coming forth with new evidence proving that these biophotons within our brain alone, there's biophotons all over our body, which I will go into more depth later, are a form of a communication channel and processing to the quantum realm. Like literally it's stating that. If you go back here, the photon is a transverse wave. It creates quantum energy. Okay. So it's really, really interesting. So my question is how many subtle body layers do we really have? Do we have the 5 that correspond with the koshas, or 7 that correspond with the main 7 chakras and the main set of universal laws? I'm not sure. So I go into depth with both. My other question is are there the layers of our quantum body? Are there the layers of our quantum body because we are in a field of energy and vibration? So do we have these layers, quantum body layers, because we are already in the field of energy and vibration? And then I go deeper into this. What are quantum sheaths? Because they say the koshas are specific sheaths around the body. For example, there's the physical body, the breath body, or this is the Annamaya Kosha, the Pranamaya Kosha, the emotional body, Manomaya Kosha, the intellectual body, Vijnanamaya Kosha, and the bliss body, Anandamaya Kosha. So what's interesting is this is showing it starting from our body and then going out. There's other pictures where it's showing it starts with the physical body and then it goes into the heart center. The bliss body would be the heart center. So that's something for you to ponder to see which one you think is correct. So breaking down the 5 subtle bodies of koshas to the basics in an attempt to try and understand. That's what I'm going to do. So this is really interesting here. This is quantum. So there was an article written by Zhigang Xia and Rulin Zhu, and it was called Quantum Theory of the Soul. I highly recommend reading it. It is in the description below, as well as some of my other things that I'm offering, including my class, which is Dreams 101, the Quantum Perspective. If you want to go deep into the unseen realms and start understanding things that you are experiencing. My journal is going to be coming out soon. So if you do take that course, then I offer you to print out the journal, but I will be offering my journal on Amazon very soon. And it's really awesome. And the other thing you can do is sign up for my free website. I'm not website, but free news, my articles, my news articles that I send out to everybody about twice a month. And you can read my blogs and stuff, and you can get a free handout, which is for like a PDF, but it's basically diving deep into archetypes and symbolism and how you can start collecting them for yourself and start understanding your own archetypes and the own symbols that are coming forth in your life. So in the description below is all of that, as well as this Quantum Theory of the Soul. And what they came up with is that, and in this order, is that there's the soul, which offers the information, which then goes to our spiritual heart. And this is where the spiritual heart receives information from our soul. And then there's the mind that processes the received information by the spiritual heart and directs where energy goes. And then there's energy itself, which moves and changes the matter. And then there's the matter. And that is what we observe and experience. And I really liked this description. I really felt like it broke it down nicely. And then in the picture next to it is the koshas and the 5 psychic sheaths. And I feel like these two kind of merge with each other, but one of them is more modern and one of them is more, ancient. And so in this picture, the first sheath is the Annamaya Kosha, which is the food sheath. And then it goes to the Pranamaya Kosha, and then Manomaya Kosha, and Vijnanamaya Kosha, and then Anandamaya Kosha, which is up here, which would be our bliss body. So this is also really good as well as a description and showing. I also like the other one, and I feel like I have to sit and contemplate for a while to see which one actually fits, but I feel like this one sits with me as well, and it also kind of matches with the chakras. So here's another one, a couple other descriptions, pictures using this. So I'm taking this and then comparing it to this other picture, which I kind of like because then it breaks it down for you. So there's a human being There's the Anandamaya Kosha, which is our body, our physical body. And, within our body, we have the elements: space, air, water, fire. They doubled water: earth, air, water, fire, basically space. And then here is the chakras. So, and then it goes to Pranamaya Kosha, which they say is more of like the chakra system. And then there's the Manomaya Kosha, which is like the deep subconscious, super conscious, subconscious mind, conscious mind. So the different brain waves. And then it moves on to the Vijnanamaya Kosha, which is, intuition, solutions, healing, manifestation. And then it moves on to Anandamaya Kosha, which is, sexual ecstasy, creativity, peak experience, co-creator, and absolute bliss. So I really like this chart. It's a good chart. And it shows like the different layers of the body and how they interact, our subtle bodies in a quantum way. Because once we start going to these right here, all of it is quantum. The whole thing, because we are quantum particles. So, but I just like it how it breaks down like that. So then I start going into each part. So I'm focusing specifically on the 5 parts of the body, of our subtle body. So first we have the physical body. And the physical body is classical physics and biochemistry, from what we know so far. And it's governed by Newtonian physics, chemistry, and biology. We have cells, DNA, hormones in the nervous system. Mass and form are made of atoms, which are 99.9999% empty space, and they're held together by energy. Your physical body is already an electromagnetic system, and it's not just the meat and bones. Then we have our bioelectromagnetic field. So this would be the scientific counterpart to the etheric body. And every living organism so far emits a measurable electromagnetic field, EMF. The heart produces the strongest EM field in the body, up to several feet outside the body, measurable by instruments like ECGs and magnetometers. This is from the Heart Math Institute, so they've done massive research on this. We have brain waves, EEGs. We have muscle contractions, EMGs, and cellular processes all emit these electrical signals. This field plays a role in communication within the body and may even influence interactions between people. Some theories which are around electromagnetic empathy. So some people have special powers who can really sense other people's energy. Then we have the emotional body, which is the mental field, emotional mental field, which is neuroimmunology and brainwave science. So thoughts and emotions are energy, detectable as electrical activity in the brain via EEGs and chemical shifts. Neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, and cortisol are produced within the body. There's emotions which affect the whole body through the autonomic nervous system. Then we have our brainwave states, the alpha, beta, theta, delta, gamma, which correspond to different modes of awareness and are kind of a resonant vibrational state, which connect us to this quantum realm. Then there's the information field, the quantum biology and field theories. Some physicists and biologists propose that the body stores and processes information via quantum coherence in cellular structures like microtubules. And these are the people who theory that came forth. And there's also quantum entanglement and non-locality, which may help explain intuition, distant healing, or knowing before you sense. And then there's also the epigenetics, which shows that the environment, thoughts, and behavior can affect your gene expression, and your biology responds to your perception of the world and those around you. And then there's a unified field, which is the theoretical physics conscious studies. So the concept of a quantum field as a universal matrix from which particles and forces arise is core to quantum field theory. Some theorists suggest consciousness may be fundamental, not emergent from the brain. Integrated information theory, panpsychism. So that this is where I'm kind of coming towards. Consciousness is not separate from us. It is us. And then there's also the idea of being connected to the field. may regulate to 0-point energy, vacuum fluctuations, or the holographic universe theory. This is David Bohm and Nassim Harim. So, and then now we have the scientific view of the quantum body. So you are a dynamic energy system with multiple interacting fields, which are electromagnetic, chemical, neurological, and informational. Your body, mind, and emotions are deeply intertwined and influenced by vibration, resonance, and frequency. And while some aspects, like chakras and astral bodies, aren't yet empirically proven, science is catching up with many plausible mechanisms and theories right now. And we don't need science to prove this to us. We are literally experiencing it. And the quantum biology, quantum physics, the universal laws are proving that this is actually the case. So I believe that, we are moving towards this quantum body. Deepak Chopra just wrote a book called The Quantum Body. So something that I need to look into, but it's starting to really make sense. It's really starting to make sense. It's starting to describe all of these things that humans are experiencing paranormally, basically. So this is kind of interesting. We can use our quantum bodies to travel to states of awareness and dimensions. So in the Zulu tribe of Africa, said that the word Merkaba, which is one word, means space, time, dimension, vehicle. According to Zulu legend, the entire tribe came from another dimension to Earth using the Merkaba. So that's really interesting. We also know the Merkaba, it means chariot as well in Hebrew. And in ancient Egypt, the word Merkaba is actually broken down from 3 words in the ancient Egyptian language. Mer means light, Ka means spirit, and Ba means body. It can also be spelled as Merkava or Merkava. All of these words are used to describe the same thing, a light body spirit that is used for traveling between dimensions. So technically, our subtle bodies are light body spirits that can travel in between dimensions based upon the experiences that people had in near-death experiences, based upon the experiences people had in hypnosis, based upon experiences people had in their dream hypnagogic state, and also in the deep meditative states. And the question is, this is a Merkaba right here, is can we use our quantum energy body to reach higher states of awareness and universal awareness? And is that how we travel to these other unseen realms? Is a question using this quantum energy body and the subtle energy body to be able to create this geometric, energetic, vibrational frequency state within ourselves to be able to connect to these higher dimensional realms. There's definitely a science behind this. So if you're interested, I said before, you can sign up for my newsletter for free and receive a free archetype and symbol journal. Just go to quantummessages1.com. And if you're interested in taking my course, going deeper into the realm of the unseen realms and learning how to empower yourself to interpret your messages that you are receiving without depending upon someone else, then this is a really good course to take. My goal is to empower you. You have the power within you. You don't need to depend on anybody else to do the work for you or to interpret the messages for you. You might need to know some basics and then practice and just have a basic course. But then after that, you can do it on your own for sure. So you can also take my course too, and you can find it on my website. Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful day. And thank you so much for listening and watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. And I hope to talk to you soon. Thank you.